Do you feel like you are doing everything right? That you work hard and that you are trying to solve your problems with the best brute force you have. Yet, you still feel stuck as if you were running on a treadmill, constantly moving but getting nowhere. And the question is there a better way? Is there an easier way? Today, we are exploring the idea of thinking in systems.
Welcome to Advanced Quality Programs with Juan Navarro. In this podcast, we're going to dive deep into the world of quality and leadership philosophies that drive successful businesses and great leaders to actually apply them to your everyday life. So if you're ready to improve your life, one quality principle at a time, let's get started.
Let's come back to the beginning. What if you are playing life on the hardest difficulty and there is a password to the easy mode and you hadn't had that password yet? Imagine that you are a business owner and your sales are crashing. Your instinct tells you to work longer hours, to search for more sales, but things are only getting worse. This feeling of being stuck is not a sign of pushing harder. It is a sign that you are not efficient enough, that you are pushing in the wrong direction, perhaps the wrong spot. Most people burn out trying to fix 1,000 of problems at once. And the most effective people just find one tiny leverage point that changes everything for them. Today, we are learning how to find yours. So first, the trap of that brute force. I used to believe that massive effort was the best path or the only path sometimes to massive results. If I was overworked, I assumed I was on the right track. That is a trap that leads to burnout but not to breakthroughs. This is where we find the power of leverage points. And the turning point for me was discovering those leverage points from the systems scientist Donella Meadows. In her book, Thinking in Systems, she explains that in any system, you can call it your career, your health, your business, small nudges can create huge changes. Reed Hastings didn't outwork Blockbuster. He changed the business model. Steve Jobs didn't just build technology. He created a magical user experience. So how you find these points? They both found their leverage point in their business. Your life is a system built to stay stable. When you use brute force, the system starts to push back. But when you find the right point to push, to actually apply leverage, the system starts working for you. What does a leverage point looks like? Well, the best metaphor is the trim tab. Imagine a colossal cargo ship with a giant rudder. Forcing the rudder against the ocean requires impossible energy. But attached to the edge of that rudder, a tiny second rudder, and then the trim tab. To turn the ship, the captain applies a small amount of pressure to the trim tab. This creates a low pressure zone that effortlessly pulls the main rudder, which then turns the entire ship. That tiny push is where the leverage point is. The small hinge that swings the giant door. Most of us spend our lives trying to push a giant rudder. We burn out fighting bad habits or working 80-hour weeks. We are fighting the system full force. The secret is to stop pushing the rudder and find your trim tab, the one change that makes all others easy. So how do you find that leverage point? To find these leverage points, you must ask better questions to see the underlying system. Map the system. Pick an area where you feel stuck, such as being constantly exhausted. Don't just say, I'm tired. Map the pieces sleep, diet, work schedule, exercise, screen time, caffeine. Make that invisible system first visible. Then identify feedback loops. Find the parts where the system is coming back. A common downward spiral with exhaustion is that you are tired, so you skip workouts. You sleep poorly, so you wake up more tired. Then you grab your late day coffee, which ruins your sleep again. And this turns to be a vicious cycle. Look for the temporary patches, like sleeping 10 hours on Sunday or Saturday, and then don't solve the core problem. Ask yourself, what one action kicks off that spiral? And then find hidden rules and beliefs. The most powerful leverage point are the invisible rules and beliefs running that system. The brute force solution to exhaustion is to quit coffee. The real leverage is finding the hidden rule, such as the belief that my self-worth is tied to my productivity, for example. Changing that rule is more powerful than fighting the behavior. If you change your rule from I must say yes to everything to I only take my own work that aligns with my top priorities, then you solve the problem of being overworked forever. And that's your trim tab. There are some concrete examples of leverage points. If in your career, for example, the 80-20 rule, don't just try to outwork everyone. Use that Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Identify the work that creates the most value. Perhaps a specific skill or a few key clients, and build your system around mastering it. That is the idea behind the famous book 10x. In your health, for example, the power of sleep. The brute force approach is jumping between extreme diets. A massive leverage point is sleep. Studies shows that adults need from 7 to 9 hours for optimal health. Sleep deficiency disrupts everything from decision making to the hormones that control your behavior, that control your appetite, which can make your diet feel impossible. By focusing on quality sleep, your efforts improve, your mood improve, your focus improve, and your motivation improve. In your relationships, the weekly check-in. Don't have to have the same fight every week. A powerful leverage point is changing the information flow. Introduce a new rule, a 15-minute state of the union meeting each week. The only agenda is to know how are we doing. This simple ritual shifts the system from reactive conflict to proactive communication. And choose the smart approach. You have a choice. You can keep pushing rather, playing the life on the hard mode with pure willpower, or you can learn to see the system around you and find those elegant points of leverage. This isn't another to-do item. It's a shift from working harder to working smarter. So for you, I have a challenge. Apply these steps that we just discussed for a week. Stop trying to fix everything. Just observe. Pick one idea, one area of your life, and use the steps that we discussed today. Map your system, find the loops, and look for the hidden rule. Once you find the potential leverage point, share it in the comments below and let us understand each other how we can work with system thinking. You'll not only hold yourself accountable, but you might help someone else to find the trim tab they are being missing. That's it for today. I hope this podcast helps you start thinking in systems and balancing your efforts. Thanks for evaluating my books, The Quality Mindset, Life Quality Programs, and The Principles of Quality. Stay excellent, keep improving, and stop fighting the system. Find your trim tab and watch your whole life change course.
One small change triggers everything. Watch how agile thinking works. Inspect, adapt, repeat. Each step builds the next, creating confident, unstoppable momentum. This is the Quality Mindset by Juan Navarro. Get your copy now.